Came across an interesting case there, reported in the newspapers last week. It's to do with a school principal down in Gorey in Wexford, a man called Egon O'Shourd. He was one of the founding members, apparently, of this Gael School, a primary school in Gorey, County Wexford. He's 63 years of age now, but he has had an 11-year battle with the Board of Management over his dismissal. The High Court made an important decision to reinstate, to have Mr. O'Shourd reinstated as principal of the school. He's 63 years of age now. The battle is going on for 11 years. The Board of Appeal, or the Board of Management of the school, which is the employer of the teachers and the principal, had lost the case at the WRC for unfair dismissal brought by this man. They also lost at the Labour Court in their appeal against the WRC decision, and then they went to the High Court and appealed the Labour Court decision and have lost that. And the judge in the case, in rejecting the board's appeal against the June 2022 Labour Court decision that Mr. O'Shourd had been unfairly dismissed, said the principal had endured terrible injustice over more than 11 years due to the unreasonable and disastrous misjudgments by the board and its chair, Melanie Gwynn. The court has found that Mr. O'Shourd should be immediately reinstated as principal with all his entitlements with effect from 2013. So you're looking at a significant win there for Mr. O'Shourd. This might mean that the school will have two principals because a new principal was appointed in 2016, but that's the position. The judge placed responsibility on Miss Nee Gwynn and other board members for the debacle, and we'll hear submissions later this month concerning what final orders should be made. Mr. O'Shourd is now age 63. He had been subjected, he claimed, to a savage injustice. He has fought the good fight for 11 years and he's won back his position, and he's going to go back there with his head held high. He was accused of fraud. He was accused of all sorts of things by the Board of Management, and now his name is completely clear, and he is going to go back to school, as I say, with his good name and reputation restored. He says, I intend going back as principal, and I intend leading the school, and I intend taking the dream we had as the founding committee to have a Gael school in Gorey of the highest standard. He never contemplated the fight to clear his name would take so long, and who could blame him? 11 years is a long time. Background is Mr. O'Shourd had a good relationship with the school's Board of Management, or former Board of Management, which was replaced in late 2011 by a new board with a new chair, Miss Nee Gwynn. That's D-H-U-I-N-N. The dispute with the new board was triggered in the first instance by an incident in January 2012. The principal banging on the desk of a first-class pupil and pulling the child towards him by his jumper. Mr. O'Shourd admitted that his actions were entirely wrong. He apologised, and the pupil's parents accepted his apology and regarded the matter as a minor incident. The board placed him on administrative leave, and Miss Nee Gwynn referred the matter to the Health Service Executive, the HSE. It concluded in late 2012 that it did not amount to a physical abuse of a child, and said the school should conduct its own investigation with a view to ensuring such incidents were not repeated. Mr. Justice Cregan, the judge in the High Court case, said no comprehensive investigation had been concluded by Miss Nee Gwynn, and it was entirely unreasonable that Mr. O'Shourd had remained on administrative leave while she, on foot of concerns raised by two staff, began an investigation into pupil enrolment numbers provided by Mr. O'Shourd to the Department of Education in 2009-2010. In a letter of May 2013, she said she was invoking a stage 4 disciplinary process against him, that's the highest level, and suspended the principal pending further investigation of concerns of fraudulent misrepresentation in relation to enrolment figures provided to the department in 2009. The judge, having strongly criticised the board's conduct of the disciplinary process, upheld the Labour Court finding that Mr O'Shourd had been unfairly dismissed. The board, in its treatment of Mr O'Shourd, had breached all or almost all of the principles and procedures for dealing with disciplinary matters concerning school principals, the judge found. Following a guarded investigation on foot of a Department of Education Inspector's report, the DPP decided against any prosecution concerning the enrolment matter. Mr O'Shourd disputed any fraud and said that there might have been some overstatement of enrolment figures. This was done for the benefit of the school and with the full knowledge and approval of the old board. So the old board, he claims, were aware of the massaging of the figures, and the figures would be massaged in order to get capitation grants, I understand, because you get a grant, or a school gets a grant for each pupil it has enrolled. The judge described his evidence as overwhelming and noted that there had been no finding of fraud by an independent disciplinary appeal panel, the Department of Education Inspector or the Labour Court. It appeared Mr O'Shourd was dismissed because he had included 9 children in the enrolment returns to the department in September-October 2009. 9 children who existed in real life and had attended the school but were no longer doing so. This was done with the knowledge and approval of the then board and in a context of a lack of legislative clarity relating to enrolments. The Labour Court then found that there was animus against Mr O'Shourd by the board and Miss Nguyen, and the judge found that finding by the Labour Court was justified. Mr O'Shourd says he feels like he finished an ultra marathon. He's tired, but he welcomed the judgment, outlining what the judge described as the teacher's odyssey over more than 11 years. It was as if he had sat through the whole thing with us. So for people who talk about the justice system and the courts and judges and so on being corrupt, here's a man who was happy with the justice system. Here's a man who actually observed that he thought that the judge had sat through the whole thing with him. In any case, this man is going back to Gorey, Gael's School in Gorey in Wexford, and he is going back with his good name, his reputation restored, and he's going back with his head held high. He's awaiting a High Court hearing on July the 29th when submissions will be heard about what final order should be made in the case. Ahead of that hearing, he says he wants to look forward. So the board lost an appeal over the WRC decision to the Labour Court, which heard the case between late 2018 and July 2021, and Mr O'Shourd said he was concerned that 10-day hearing had taken so long to conclude that he must pay the cost for it. But I don't think that will be the case. The winner takes all, and it is a legal principle, which has a statutory basis now, that costs follow the event, and therefore generally costs will be borne by the losing party. The Board of Management in this case, they have a lot of soul searching to do, I think, in how they've handled this case from start to finish, and they're going to have, I believe, an expensive legal bill, to put it mildly, not to mention perhaps some reputational damage. I don't know, I'm speculating on that. But anyway, this man, 11 years of a battle, 63 years of age now, so he was 52 when he was fired as principal of the school. He was one of the founding members of this Gael School in Gorey. Mr O'Shourd, he said it was like being caught in quicksand. He's back now in the game, and he's going back with his head held high. Hope you find this video useful. If you do, I'd appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up down below. Thanks a lot.